We started the project in 1991 with research trials, adaptability of barley, testing it, nitrogen fertilization and also planting densities. In 1994 we conducted our first small experimental plantings, 10 hectares at each producer, and eventually scaling it up to 1998 for about 500 hectares, and then afterwards up to 2,200 hectares, which consisted of about 220 producers.
I'm born here, born and bred here. I inherited this land from my father. It was just 2 morgen, but they expanded the land to be a 10 hectare. So I started here at 1982. I'm farming with SAB presently now, but before it was the government. We were having a cooperative which was called the SAD. We always we are farming maize and barley with SAM. So my circle here is JS1. We are 4 in this circle, so everyone with a 10 hectare. It's a circle of 40 hectares.
These are all 40 hectare center pivot units. They irrigate together and they work as a team of 4 people to irrigate their crops and grow their crops through the season.
The water is coming from Valhaz Water User Association from Jan Kemp. So it comes with furrows up to our dams here.
Each farmer has a water sensor installed or a probe installed in his quarter, and that gets measured every week, and that the information there gets provided back through our agriculturists to the producers every Monday. So they have a plan that they work through the week. They schedule their irrigation. The main purpose of SAB that's involved in Taung is part of our overall strategy of Go Farming. I think it is one of the initiatives that SAB has introduced of helping small-scale farmers becoming bigger, going to emerging farmers, and then eventually possibly going to commercial farmers.
SAB is helping us with finance, implements and seeds and all sorts of things. And then we repay them after harvesting.
They are producing barley and GMO-free maize, which are used in the brewing process. It's part of our raw material sourcing program. And we want to invest locally in South Africa to try to help the small-scale farmer to produce a crop at a specific price, which is market related, and then also provide finance to them to grow these crops. The whole process starts with planting with a minimum till planter, which is specially designed so that we do not have to commercial plow the field and then level. After the planting process, normal nitrogen are applied during the planting process, prior to the planting process, and then also as a top dressing after 4 weeks after emergence. And then another late nitrogen top dressing are applied specific for protein content of the barley. We use Kynoch as a company because they have the inputs that they can supply to us, the technical expertise. We use them for strategic purposes because it's a big project, about 1,000 hectares, so it's a lot of tons of seed and fertilizers that must be transported to this remote area. We use their depot, we use their total technical infrastructure. If there's a problem with the fertilizer or with the plants during the growth season, we do have a source of technical know-how. I myself is also a qualified agronomist, but we sometimes do have the need for some people to do on the chemical side to help us with that. When the barley is ripe, it gets harvested and transported about 20 kilometers from here down to the local Senwes Magogong silo. It gets aerated because we need a barley kernel to be alive. We want to germinate it again in the malting process. Most of the producers didn't have an income. They were farming subsistently with lucerne and a little bit of maize. Their yields were very low. Most of the farmers were using some contractors for main applications of fertilizers, but also their own equipment, and we realized that the equipment nowadays available, the modern type of equipment, cannot be afforded by a small-scale farmer. So that's why we introduced the whole thing about economic of scale, getting a big contractor to apply the fertilizer, get a big contractor to harvest, contract a company like Kynoch to supply the fertilizer, but also the total service. So it's not like subsistence farming, everybody is trying to get inputs and they're waiting for the inputs either to be financed or being supplied, and things can be done on time. So that's why their yields have increased from about 4 tons per hectare with maize to an average of last 3-year average is around about 11 tons.
Our harvesting is getting bigger, and better. So just from the maize, I have done 10 tons per hectare. So from the wheat to always 7 tons, 6 tons, 8 tons. I think that our production has been improving our lives also.
On the community side, a lot of people have put their kids through school because they do earn a disposable income from their crops of an average of about 5,000 rand per hectare over the year. So you can see that there's a lot of gains that spinned off of the whole project being managed from, let's say, not from myself, but from a team. 13% of the producers around here are more than 70 years old. So we're talking about people that it is their only source of income, and some of them are very old. Fortunately, we do see a trend of younger people coming in, and we want to promote those people to try to get larger productive areas, or either by leasing older people's land and then possibly expanding into small-scale farmers, or from small-scale farmers to emerging farmers. If we do identify some of those emerging farmers that have the potential, we can assist them together with Grain South Africa and the government and SAB from the mentor side, promote them further upwards into a commercial phase. If we identify maybe 15 or 20 of them, SAB are willing to assist them in the future. That is the next 5-year long-term plan that we are working on with the whole Go Farming project of SAB.